We're going to solve all problems with education right now. Education. We're going to talk about that apparently.
Absolutely.
Education, good thing. I mean, it's the reason I'm sitting here and not, I don't know, doing whatever. Nothing wrong with doing whatever, right? My dad used to always tell me, nothing wrong with being a ditch digger, just be the best ditch digger in the ditch, right?
Absolutely, but when you've talked to people who are successful, they say a couple of things. One is they got lucky at some point.
Yep.
They worked hard and they had a quality education.
Yep.
And what we need to make sure is that all students, if they work hard, they'll get a quality education and perhaps they'll get lucky and get the returns that some in Silicon Valley are getting.
Yeah, well, and there's huge returns, and we're here in San Francisco. And a big part of yours is to get more technology into the classroom, right? We had a conversation before where the difference between classrooms, not just even within states, like we talked about the difference between California, my kids went to school in California, the cameraman's kids went to school in Massachusetts. Yeah. They got iPads in class, and I said we get stone tablets, right? The differences between states and even within cities are so difficult. Like, how do we tackle that?
So the funding model across the country is very broken, whereas the highest funded district in California is below the lowest funded district in New Jersey, Connecticut, and other states. So there's a financial issue that we can talk about as well. But what we really need to make sure we do is we leverage technology to improve student achievement. The classroom is the last place where we ask kids to turn off their phones, turn off their devices because we want you to pay attention. But that's not how kids work, right? We want them to connect. And just to kind of give you an example of how a classroom has worked for the past 100 years, if you were to take a classroom of 30, 6 rows, 5 to a row, that's lined up, you take the best kid number and make them number 1 and force rank M1 to number 30, the teacher teaches at number 16. So number 1 is bored, number 30 is lost.
Right.
That's where technology can help.
Right. And I think, we talked about, I brought up the idea of Khan Academy, right, which, crazy idea. He started just to help his own kid, didn't he? And then
his nieces and nephews,
Right, it was right. And then it exploded, and I've heard of ideas of teachers like turning teaching on its head, where they're using technology where each kid is going at their own pace, and it's like they're driving what happens, and then the teacher can help. So you solve that 16 problem.
Yeah. So how do you individualize instruction? So you get number 1 to take off and number 30 to catch up, and then keep everyone moving along. So technology can help that. What we're struggling with in a lot of school districts is they don't know how to fund technology. Give an example in California, capital is funded at a 55% voter threshold, but operational dollars are at 2/3. So we figured out how do we get technology funded at the 55%, and we've got a school district to actually prove this model. Second thing we've done is we put out a white paper with PwC and a few others to say, how do we build the technology infrastructure in a school district? There's 1,100 school districts in California and 10,000 in the United States. Yeah, so there's all these small districts. They're all autonomous, so you can't say do too much of buying pencils together. So how do you make sure that they have a standard way of building their back-end infrastructure? So the wireless works beyond 30 computers watching Khan Academy. We've had the problem where we had 30 kids watch a Khan video and it crashed the wireless infrastructure in Silicon Valley. So it's just not acceptable. It's not so figuring out the back office and then figuring out what education technology tools, ed tech tools we bring to the classroom. And that's where we spend a lot of energy as well, to make sure we bring the right tools, we test the right tools to make sure we're improving student achievement with technology. You should be able to predict as a teacher, a child is going to raise his hand before he raises it because of the dashboard you have at your desk. I mean, that's where we'll individualize instruction, what you talked about. Flip the classroom where they can watch the video at home, I think is a simple concept we just need to do, but getting more sophisticated with predictive analytics, with big data to say, we're counting every keystroke, we know exactly what you're doing, we're getting the responses to see what's happening so we can be more helpful so all students can realize their full potential.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Muhammed. It's an important subject, a fascinating subject. It's a little depressing on some of the funding aspects and all that, but I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check out our other videos on TrueBit TV and subscribe to our channel while you're at it. Thanks for watching.